you'll have to do that.
I don't mind virtual meetings, but it'd certainly be nice not to have to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the stream's online. I'm going to pass the host to Cheryl, and then I'm going to bow out.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Ben.
you, Ben.
No problem. See you later.
Okay, so at the last school committee meeting, a discussion about our vaccine policy came up. We did start working on a preliminary one to include a COVID vaccine, but we've been advised that since it's not mandated at this point, we don't know, we do not think we can have that as a requirement at this point. So I sent the one we were starting to work on, and basically our policy that we had was from the Department of Health, and it was the whole guidelines, but I did notice that the guidelines in our policy booklet were outdated. So there's a newer version that I sent you yesterday as well. That just has the update. It's just a newer version of the same document. Are you getting on, Jeff?
I'm trying.
Yeah. So
Listening.
I don't know, other than to have the new document from the Department of Health, if we want to touch anything further on our immunizations, because I don't think we can add the COVID vaccine at this time. Kathy, do you know?
No, it is not mandatory throughout the state for faculty or students at this point in time. So I think it would be, it wouldn't be very good to have a policy that would mandate it. Let's see what happens statewide and the CDC guidance. That's what we've been following. We'll just continue to follow that.
Okay.
Kathy, is that what you think will happen? You have to, it's either the whole state or nothing?
Well, I think so. Like URI is mandating
Yes, I'm over on
testing
this
of
side.
their students and vaccinations. I believe Providence colleges. I'm watching how the colleges are mandating that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that we, if something were to happen, it would be a statewide, yes.
Right, yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have a leg to stand on, really.
And
And
I read an article that said once it's, because it's still under emergency authorization,
Correct.
that probably won't happen until it's, but I guess they're applying for it. So over the summer, it should.
Right. Things could change. They may
Yeah, we'll
say
have to.
all students ought to be inoculated before, September. Again, it's still a moving target.
Do parents have the right to ask if a teacher has been inoculated?
No,
They
No.
don't.
no, HIPAA violation. We have to
Yeah.
be careful. Cheryl has that list and
Yeah.
only they give it to her.
Yeah.
And we have the list, and basically the purpose of that list is that if we have a quarantine or something happens, we'll know which staff members don't need to do the quarantine based on their vaccination status. But
Are
we
you-
have to keep that pretty private in HR. We can't really, we would never reveal that to the public.
However, private businesses can ask.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, yeah.
Really, Jessica?
Yes.
Really? They can ask, huh?
So
Yeah.
my company had set a policy in place at the beginning of this week, met with our attorneys, and so they can ask to see our, they can't take our card, but they can ask to see it if we choose not to wear masks. And that's not my restaurant, that's the other place I work. So the restaurant, I think, is probably gonna, because it's privately owned, I think they're gonna do something like that too, ask if you have a card.
Yeah.
For the prime example, if we do have to quarantine somebody, I mean, we have had customers that come in with no masks since the beginning. So if you have 2 maskless people, that could be a pretty big spreader. So I think ultimately, if they do that, but I do know that the CEO of my company met with their attorneys to draft something.
Yeah.
And I just read another article that said that somebody challenged it as a HIPAA law, and they're saying that, no, it's not a violation of HIPAA.
That's it. I think because we're a public school, I think it would change, but I do know that the card doesn't have any information on it. The card has your
Right.
name,
And the
birthday,
dates that you were
and the dates.
vaccinated.
and what kind of vaccine you got. Now,
Right.
that in itself could become an issue if people,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really think at this point.
I think some colleges are going to be requiring it for students.
They are already.
Right. But I
Now,
believe we are definitely different because of the public nature of our business.
And yes, and they're private, Providence College, for example,
Yep.
they pretty much, Boston College is doing it. They can pretty much mandate, you want to come
Right.
on, you're going to be vaccinated.
Right.
I think if you pay to go, then that's a different.
Yeah.
story.
You
Yeah.
got it.
Right.
That's right.
Now, are the kids at the elementary level, obviously because they're not getting the vaccine yet, they'll be wearing masks in September as well?
No, we're not anticipating that. We're hoping that that's going to change. Right now, the schools, the children still have to wear masks and the teachers, schools are not included
Okay,
at this point in time.
but you think in September that may change?
I'm hoping so. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that we're going to have a nice regular opening. That's
Oh,
what we're
wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
that is, yes. But we'll watch it closely through the summer.
Mhm. So my suggestion is the COVID-19 policy that we started to work on, we'll just keep that on the back burner, see if something changes, and then we could then continue to work on that. I think maybe at the school committee, Jessica, I would like to present the new updated document with the newer date from the Department of Health as a replacement for the one that we currently have, just so that that's at least updated. You know, I just think, and then we also have the Department of Health, the preschool and school immunization requirements from the Department of Health, and this has an updated date as well. So we'll provide that, and Jessica, maybe then you can talk a little bit about where we are, you know, on the COVID vaccine requirements and where we're going to proceed with that.
And
It's,
it does-
the
I mean,
number-
policy is pretty much directly from the Rhode Island Department.
That's
of Health,
right.
So I wouldn't, this isn't something that I don't even want to touch. It's
No.
difficult.
Yeah.
I just say, give them the updated one, and
Yeah.
that's that.
The 16 to 18-year-old clinics that they had for our kids and for all of the students, if they attended private school but lived in East Providence, they only had approximately 60.
Ugh.
That was the case statewide in various districts. That was the case, very low numbers. Now, they're
Are you
running,
talking about to be vaccinated?
yes, very low numbers. But statewide, I know Cranston had like maybe 75, and in the second largest district in the state, Janine Nada was telling me, very low turnout. But maybe they've had them, you know, that's the other thing with kids, you know, you don't know whether the parents took them, whether they got them, you know, previously, whatever the case might be. Now, 12 to 15-year-old now, the clinic is running, the fire department is running. I said something out this week. They have to register for that. We'll see what those numbers come in and look like.
I would, you know, with everyone being out and about right now and all the spring sports starting and all that stuff starting that are mostly that age group, 12 to 15, I really, you know, I would hope to see those numbers higher.
I would too, but
I would hope that
Last,
people are educated about it too.
I found a website that I've been looking at daily, and it compares the percentages of vaccinations within the state by cities. And East Providence, that age group is quite high compared to others. It was 25% yesterday of kids up to 18. And some districts, it was like 9%. I mean, some cities, it was like 9%. So in that sense, I guess we're doing better, but it's still quite low.
You know, we were discussing this I was discussing this with some parents recently. And, you know, a lot of people have the Rhode Island mindset. And I think it
Yeah.
helps us that East Providence has a center and a vaccine center right here in East Providence. because no one wants to drive anywhere.
Mhm.
You know, even to say to go to the dump to get a vaccine, people are like, well, I have to find parking, then I have to do this, then I have to do that. And you know, I think opening up these clinics would help us. I just think educating people is our number one concern at this point. Dr. McDonald did a great job the other day talking about it on whatever channel he was on. So
Yeah.
he seems to be able to talk to kids really well, and he seems to come from a kid's perspective. So I just think that's where we are, and the other people, you're not going to change their minds. So it's just what it is.
I think we'll get there. It's just going to be slow.
The frightening.
I have friends that had no intention of getting a vaccine, but as people they know have gotten sick, a friend of mine, he's in his 60s, and a plumber that he knows just passed away. He quickly ran over and got vaccinated, and he's been telling me for months he was not doing it. You know, so there are things that are happening in people's lives that are causing them to finally,
Right.
you
And
know.
and you know, I mean, I probably know more people that have COVID in the last month than I
You're
did
right.
when it was going around.
I'm me also. Yeah, that's weird.
Lucky for us, you know, there no one was seriously ill, you know, but it's definitely you know, people don't have to wear a mask, they're not wearing one, and whether they're vaccinated or not at this point. And
Yeah.
I think that's where the you know, with any immunization, you know, and I want to make sure, because if anyone is watching, I mean, we do have still, or the state of Rhode Island has that, you know, religious exemption, and there's another one, just a health one, I guess it is, but I know the state of Connecticut was trying to do away with that.
Oh, really?
I do believe so, yes. Yeah.
So let me ask you, are there any more policies that you want to look at or update as you move forward?
Well, that's kind of why Cheryl and I came here together today, so
Mhm.
that we can actually physically look at stuff instead of trying to talk back and forth over a
Mhm.
computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Alright.
We'll just open the book and see.
Mhm.
I do still want to work on that opening school committee one, and it's not more of a policy, but it has to go in front of the policy book. I think that we are.
What is it?
So it just explains what the school committee's policy and procedures are, literally. And I'll show it to you.
Yep.
It's kind of like law, and I think that we can add, since educating students has changed, since school committee really policy and procedures have changed, I think we need to update it.
Mhm.
Good.
And, you
To
know,
be in line with the new
just to
regulation.
be in line with everything. It's, you know, you look at other school districts, you just hop on their website and it's right there. I want ours to be pretty, you know,
Yeah,
if I walk away from this, you know.
The other thing you might want to update is the principal empowerment. I don't think that
Mhm.
there. It's
I think we did when it first came
Yeah.
out. Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
So you've got it in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Ben took care of that for us.
And the school improvement team one too.
Yes.
as well?
So
Good.
that one's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Correct.
I
Thank
think
you.
that's what we can do, is go through the book and flip
Right.
through it and see what,
All right.
you know, I know that there's some policies that may be coming up next year that
Mhm.
we could hit on, because, you know, I am hoping that schools reopen the right way, the same way. And then, you know, if anything that we need to do about the new high school or something else comes up, I
Yeah.
don't know really what that would be, but, you know,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If any pertain directly to the high school and the CTC.
right.
Which
And I,
is-
you know, I know that, you know, Barrington has a breathalyzer policy for dances.
Mhm.
Really?
I actually saw that on a couple of other
Yeah.
school websites as well.
I mean, we just told our kids tonight who were going to the prom that they need to be tested. I mean, I think that's something we might want to look into. That goes with, you know, the health and wellness committee as well, you know,
Yeah.
kind of hand in hand on that one.
And I would pull the high school handbook, see if there's anything in there too, because that's where
Okay,
to go to, Jess. Pull that handbook, Cheryl,
okay.
okay? I'm sure they haven't had a chance this year to, you
No,
know.
I'm and nor do I expect
So
them
that
to, but, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure the high school handbook's gonna have to get a whole overhaul.
Right,
but-
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But other than that, I think, there's definitely a couple that I would like to look at. There's a couple that I would like to bring to the table, but I don't want to cause any controversy or
Mhm.
any kind of, saying, okay, this is maybe what we should look at. But if, I do think we could probably eliminate a couple.
Mhm.
I mean, the book is pretty thick, and
It is.
and once again, it has some of the stuff is procedural.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Bring it forward
So-
now.
So
Get-
maybe if we do a overhaul of this and we take a look at what we have in there and also have a procedure book on items, instead of having it grouped together with that might be another way to do that. So you're just looking at the policies in the policy book.
the other thing is, if we bring this immunization policy to the committee, I want to put in parentheses, updated due to RIDE. I don't want people to think, because
This is literally right from the Department of Health.
I just,
Yeah.
on this, even if we are going to put this for first reading
Yep.
again, I would like
Right.
the agenda to say
Yeah.
no new changes or something like that, because they
Right.
don't just
And
update it.
Jessica, you can basically say, this is just a housekeeping
Right.
effort. The other document we
good
had in
idea.
there was very old.
Right, but if we put it on the just agenda for the public to see, vaccination policy,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's gonna turn into it.
Okay.
That's not where we're at. That's not
Yeah.
our plan.
Just put update on policies. Don't even put it, this is,
That's it.
Yeah.
Update on policy.
we won't even put the actual policy. Okay,
good thinking, good
I
anticipation.
don't want people to think that we're messing with this stuff.
yeah. So Cheryl, I think you stick with your policy manual and then at the handbooks for the protocols for some handbooks for the schools.
Yeah.
That's your, because, you may be in conflict. You might
Yeah.
have to look at those, but those handbooks are gonna come from the schools.
right.
And if we can get them earlier this summer, we will, and maybe give them to you and you can see if they're aligned to the policies. How's
That would be really good.
All right?
Yeah,
Maybe some policies have to be put directly in the student handbook,
Yeah.
that's right.
okay?
Yeah,
That would be good if we could do that and you could
Yep.
align it. That would be helpful because we're gonna be so busy this summer just getting in.
I know,
It would be really helpful,
I know.
this committee.
All right, does anyone have anything else today?
Okay, my plumber's here, so I'll be able to start in.
Catherine, are you going to the prom tonight?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I just want to let you know that Sydney and I are just gonna go into the parking lot just to watch the people come in, because I'm pretty ecstatic that we're having it, so I just want to give you a heads up.
Why does, you can go in.
No, because she's gonna be she has a softball game, so she's gonna be stinky
So
smelly.
what? So what? I used to dress
I'm just
this way
excited.
with me when I was there. No, come on in. I'm going, just visiting and kind of seeing the kids because I am
Yeah.
excited. You know that Chris Murphy, our plant manager, is going?
To chaperone.
Good for him.
He asked to go because he said, I want to get to know more of the faculty on this level.
oh, cute, yeah.
That's
good.
nice.
Really like him. He fits in so well. He's so good at what he's doing and interacting
good.
with people, working close with Toby and Tony. He's really doing a great job. And so he said to Toby, hey, can I come to the prom? I'll help you chaperone. I'd like to get to know the faculty.
Great.
Awesome.
Great. Well, I just
Yeah.
want to see the smiles tonight, and I thought about going just to the carousel like they all go, but I did that last year, even with COVID. A lot of people went there and
Yeah.
took pictures in like other dresses and stuff. I actually want to see this. This to me is a big milestone for us.
And you know that they've already booked next year because every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from April through October is already booked. So we had to go on a Thursday night for next year.
Oh well,
Mhm.
Can
Friday
you
can
see
be
that? Yeah.
your skip day. Sorry
Yeah.
if this is being recorded.
Okay,
So
Okay.
we are booked for next year. Yeah, good things, good things.
Okay. Well, I will.
thank
Cheryl and I
you.
are gonna sit here and just
Yep.
go through the book, and we'll.
Okay, talk to you guys
It was
later.
great seeing you, ladies.
Nice seeing you.
Stay
Talk to
safe.
you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.